And eventually you will grow tired of not getting the life that you think you deserve. It's like literally gorgeous out. It's hot. Probably one of the hottest days of the year. Um, but today I really wanted to talk about, if you don't start now, then you really never will. Like, this is something that has just been ingrained in me for a very, very long time. Something I always thought about was how every day you should take an opportunity to just be, better than what you were the day before. Because if you constantly, wake up every day expecting to do the same things that you always do, and just fantasizing about what your life could be, or what you envision your dream life to be, you'll never get there. Eventually you will grow tired of not getting the life that you think you deserve or what you want. So you need to just go for it. I do think with the growth of social media, we are constantly, shown these dream lives, or, how everybody's life is just so perfect and beautiful, because nobody wants to show those raw moments in time where we had to put in work, we had to put in effort, we had to put in, just an abundance of change into what, we have grown into habits. We just think, it's easy. It's easy to get, the dream life that you want. It's easy to, obtain this lifestyle that honestly just really isn't realistic. And that causes us to constantly scroll on our phones. It causes us to constantly, think about what our lives could be and what our dreams look like. But nobody wants to talk about the effort you have to put in to get it, because nothing is easy. Nothing. I've been constantly putting in a lot of effort to achieve a certain lifestyle that I want in the future. And by no means am I completely there. By no means. But I've learned to embrace the hardships of trying to get there, because the journey is what is important, not the destination. And what I mean by that is learn to love, the journey you're taking to get somewhere, rather than wanting to enjoy the fruits of your labor. And there's nothing wrong with, enjoying, where you've come from, and like, where you're at, but also learn to love the journey just as much as you love the destination. You have to start somewhere. If you want that dream body, don't take the easy way out. Get your ass up, go to the gym, and even when you don't feel like going, go. I've been going to the gym now consistently every week for about a little over a year now. And I will say, like, it's not only did my physical change, but my mentality completely changed as well. There's more dedication, peace within myself, because I know every single day I'm going to get up and do what the hell I got to do to get to where I want to be, because nobody else is going to do it for you. Nobody is going to complete your goals for you. And even if they do, are you really going to get that satisfaction that you would have got if you did it yourself? You're not going to. You're not. And you're not going to because, again, the mental changes and mental impact that you get when you start it and end it yourself. And I'm not saying that help isn't important, because it definitely is. But knowing that you got yourself up every single day and made effort to get to where you want to be, that satisfaction that you get at the end is like no other, because nobody can, take that away from you. It's better to start now than when you're like 30, 40 years down the line, or even shit tomorrow, because time is something that is never guaranteed. It's not guaranteed that you'll wake up tomorrow. Time isn't something that's promised. So the more time you spend wasting on dreaming and fantasizing and, wanting but not doing anything to get it, the more time you're wasting and the longer it's going to take for you to get to where you want to be at. So it's like generally better to start now than later. Because when you start now, the sooner your goals will manifest and the sooner you will get to live the life that you want to live. If you want this healthy, balanced life, get up and make those diet changes that you know you need to make. Don't say, oh, I'm going to start tomorrow, because tomorrow may never come. And the more you keep putting it off, the more you're setting a habit for yourself to keep doing the same thing you've been doing every single day. I've been vegetarian for about 2.5 years now, and that also has shaped a lot of dedication for me, because not a lot of people can commit to something that long. And even when I started, for health reasons, my vegetarian journey, I wasn't thinking that, I'd be doing it for this long. I just knew I needed to change. So I did it because nobody else was going to do it for me, It definitely has its struggles like everything else does. But at the end of the day, I made a promise to myself. And, when you keep promises to yourself and you invest time and effort and true dedication and commitment to yourself, you'll attract people who would want to do the same. And that's something that I've also have seen changed in my life, because you can't expect other people to want to dedicate their time and effort into you when you can't even do that for yourself. It's the truth. It's the truth. The same thing you want to, experience from other people is the same thing you need to be giving yourself. Like, if you want your flowers, then sometimes you need to buy yourself some flowers. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you got to do. So it's very important to invest in yourself in every single way possible. Because again, if you don't start, then it's never gonna happen. If you know that your dream body just ain't given, then get up and do something about it. If you know that mentally you're just not in a good headspace, then what are you gonna do about it? Are you gonna speak positively to yourself? Are you gonna change your inner dialogue? Or change, what's making you feel like you're not good enough? Like, what are you going to do to change what you don't like? What are you going to do to change what you wish you had? Like, a lot of people spend so much time wishing but not enough doing. I think people tend to forget that your reality is what you shape it to be. Your reality is what you decide it to be. You have the ability to shape your reality. And even when you're going through moments that just are hard and just very challenging, how you decide to go about it, how you decide your perspective to be, how you decide to view the situation and what you decide to take from it is really what matters at the end of the day. Because we can't control, what happens to us, or, what experiences we go through sometimes. But you can definitely control how you go about it and what you're going to do to change it, and what are you going to take away from it. I like to look at every single thing in my life as either a lesson or something for me to take away from, because the truth is, things aren't happening to you, they're happening for you. Everybody has room to grow, everybody has room to take away something from every experience, whether that be, a bad relationship, your family, even your boss, your job. Like, every single thing that you do is trying to teach you something. And usually when we continue these cycles in our life that just never seem to end, it's because we're not taking away what we need to take away from it. Which is why it's very important to know yourself, to know what you need to change, and to know what is no longer serving you anymore. In order to get your dream life, you kind of have to know yourself. You have to know what isn't making me get what I think I need. If you keep placing yourself in situations that you know aren't serving you, and you know for a fact that you've just generally outgrown, then you're never going to get to where you need to be at. Habits are definitely another thing that we have to learn to change, because one thing I realized just out of experiencing people, everybody's way of life is different. Like, not every single person has the same habit, which is why I think every single person is unique in their own specific way. Because, I can decide that what's a habit for me is waking up at 9 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, and getting my work out the way if I know I have to do it, or getting my college work done, or, heading to the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning. Whatever habit that I've placed on myself, that's because I have decided that this is what I need to do to get to where I want to be. And that may not be the same for the next person. But the difference is that I, have taken control and decided this is what I got to do. I've made it a habit to, eat healthy, to make sure that I'm maintaining myself before I maintain somebody else. Because at the end of the day, you got to put yourself first. You genuinely got to put yourself first. Like, I know sometimes we want to, be there for somebody else before we be there for ourselves. And yeah, that's good to a fault. But at the end of the day, you got to put yourself first. Because if you always catering to what somebody else needs or what somebody else got going on, then you just wasting your life for somebody else's life. And eventually down the line, you'll realize that I've been catering to everybody else except for mine. So I'm not where I want to be. Life is an experience at the end of the day. And it's generally up to you to do what you have to do to get to where you want to be at. There's no real excuses for that, except for if you make excuses for yourself. It's better to start now, like now, before, you end up regretting it later.